So many people are throwing rocks at the show, saying it is bad, that it looks ugly, that they are trying to push an agenda on us, and all kind of stuff. The original plan was to join them. But did you notice that all this noise is being made even though the show is not even out yet? Besides that, they are saying all kinds of things, but they not even mention the show's source material, which is public since 2016, the character's creator, who is responsible for other significant Marvel projects, or even a line about the show's developer or executive producer. We are here to do all those things and much more. If you value mockery based on facts, you just found your place. Riri was created in the same place that Miles Morales and Jessica Jones once called home, the head of this bold man. He may look all white to some, but
I'm the father of a multiracial household.
Don't judge the guy too soon though. He's not as crazy as he sounds. If you had the opportunity to read Invincible Iron Man or any of those issues on screen, you'll know that he's a solid writer. So solid in fact that he was even invited to work as a consultant in several Marvel movies, including Homecoming, Guardians of the Galaxy, and more importantly, Iron Man 2008. And then, but that being said, one person alone should not get the whole credit. After all, for every Stan Lee, there is at least one Jack Kirby. And especially when it comes to a company as big as Marvel, the creative process involves editors, executives, producers, you get the picture. But see, there's too many people to curse. So let's keep it simple by focusing only on the writers. And if you yet don't know, you'll learn whose quarterback's wife developed this show. If being
Father of a multiracial household
is a good motivation to kill people's beloved hero, we'll never know. What we don't know is that the world is a big place, and that Marvel is a company built for everyone. But let's keep the positivism, not ignoring reality. Money is also one of the reasons why such decisions are made. It is being mentioned here because it seems like this guy is genuine about his craft. I may not agree with the way he does things, you may find some tropes on his comics, but as far as we are concerned, this is a free country and Peter Parker is just a drawing. And let's be honest, if you're familiar with the superhero world, you are also familiar with change, and you even love it already. Take a look at the Joker, for example. Joaquin Phoenix Joker is fun, light, and even beautiful at moments. Heath Ledger Joker is mysterious, crazy, and frightening. Jared Leto Joker was gay. You get the point. Every single one of them was different of the other. Was this a bad thing though?
We now have a half black, half Hispanic gay Spider-Man.
But okay, you'll have a point. Even if you zoom in, those were changes kept in a realm of familiarity. And this time they didn't change just the looks, costume, or suit. They also changed the inner essence of the character. And although Stan Lee said in the past,
any kid could imagine he's Spider-Man because no color of the skin shows.
Especially when it comes to Marvel, every issue is 20% fighting the bad guy against 70% of the hero's personal life. So if we cannot relate with the struggle present in the history, we will likely not enjoy it. Especially if the goal is to make one shine by hurting the other.
A colonizer in chains. Now I have seen everything.
Funny.
Oh my god, corny, lame, boo, tomato, I'm throwing tomatoes.
However, if the goal is to focus on what is relatable to all, but not shying away from what is unique to an individual or group, we can get fun moments like this.
What'd she do to the pie?
Well, obviously she put something in it.
Eat my shit.
But also,
we view this as a cold, brutal, deliberate killing in a savage, uncivilized state. There is no state with a record that approaches that of Mississippi in inhumanity, murder, brutality, and racial hatred. It is absolutely at the bottom of the list.
15 minutes past midnight, Evers got out of his car beside his home in a Negro residential area. In a vacant lot about 40 yards away, a sniper fired a single shot.
Moments that help us understand the other a little bit better. But the question is, will Ironheart be able to give us this? Here is what you know so far. Riri Williams' first appearance was in the comic book series called Invincible Iron Man. First thing we learn, she's not there to take Iron Man's place. No one can do that. She's just someone who felt challenged by him, or more specifically, by what he made. Riri is not a hero. In fact, a lot of times she acts as a villain. It may sound negative, but isn't this Tony Stark's nature?
I've seen the footage.
the only thing you really fight for is yourself. You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play, to lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you.
I think I would just cut the wire.
Always a way out. You know, you may not be a threat, but you better stop pretending to be a hero.
Who created Ultron? But here's where we learn the difference between Tony Stark and Riri Williams. Tony Stark created Ultron, sold weapons, and even began a war, not because he was being selfish, but because he was being stupidly altruist. He feels like the world is in danger and no other but his own self can save it. Meanwhile, Riri, at least initially, does things more because she wants to do them than because it is the better thing to do. Yes, it is not necessarily a good trait, but when explored by the right author, it can lead to very entertaining moments. Take a look at this.
Can I get some of that too?
Dominic Thorne gave us a taste of how Riri is like. If this TV show draws from the energy delivered in the movie, holy guacamole, we may be set for a treat. But I'm not saying this character is all flowers and rainbows. There is a dark side of her that needs to be addressed. And if they don't treat this well, it may be a reason to never let your kids watch this show. Ironheart was presented as a hero, but Riri steals things. That's how she built her suit in the original, and it seems like that's how she's going to build her suit in the TV show as well. That's certainly not a good role model. And as the showrunner herself says,
I mean, she's an anti-hero, and we set out to make her that way. So in the same way that characters who are kind of scruffy, dirty, complicated at the beginning become our best friends, but we're hoping to do the same thing with Riri.
As a mother, I'm sure Nick Hodge will be careful when dealing with those things, but it's worth keeping an eye on that. But if you are an adult and like me don't have kids, it is all fun and games. Another positive thing about the show is that it seems like it will be focused in more than just Wakanda, if you know what I mean. This is said based on
she's going to interact with all different types of folks, and when I say that, I don't just mean all different colors of folks, but like computer geeks and folks who love manga and old folks who just want to farm and be with their persimmon jam. And
about the plot,
we're writing in magicians. It's so hard. We're writing in magicians.
Are you finished? This is what it can be, not what it's going to be, but you get the picture. Beyond the external conflict, we also have
we like the characters who feel like underdogs, and so our heroes are both underdogs in terms of their physical stature often or their prowess in the world, but I think also underdogs in terms of their own emotional growth, and when we're rooting for them to get to the kind of emotional solvency that makes a hero. So I'm gonna be honest, she's gonna fight some things. She's gonna use her suit to break some things. She's gonna not be as assertive as she could possibly be. She will be aggressive and passive at moments. But I think, like all great heroes, she'll have to overcome her poor habits in community and learn to be her best self at the table. Wow, it's so hard to talk through this without giving away plot spoilers.
And if you liked Black Panther, you may be happy to hear that one of the executive producers is none other than the movie director. For those who cannot wait for the show's release to know more about Riri Williams, here is some information. In the comics, Riri Williams' presence is inconsistent, likely because Brian Bendis left Marvel to work on DC and later focus on his independent projects. It would be interesting to see what Brian was going to do with this character, but it doesn't mean Riri was forgotten. She was featured in the Marvel Comics series called Champions, place where Hulk smash has a whole new meaning. And she also got her own series, this time having Eve L. Ewing as her writer. Being 100% transparent with you, in the comics only Brian Bendis' writing caught my attention. For those who prefer moving pictures, Riri Williams was featured on Black Panther Wakanda Forever. If like me you don't give a nickel to Wakanda Forever, she appears on minute 38. Her segments are fine, but I didn't watch the rest. If you watched it this far, I would love to hear your opinions on the comments. For now,
Until we meet again!